Starts with a brick, ends up with the whole cosmos. Starts with a spark, ends up with a flame. It starts with a little something, a vibe that you want to inhabit. By the end, you got a consistent etymology for every single name.
Open the world book, turn the page. Come join us in setting the stage. Open the world book, turn the page. Come and join us in setting the stage.
Setting the Stage is a show where host Isaac Shaker interviews game masters about their worlds, about the worlds they play in. He interviewed me about Foxglove, and that episode will likely drop this summer, but I'd recommend going to check out his show now. A great episode to give a listen to is episode 52, where Isaac interviews Eric and Caleb from the Delta Green podcast Black Flare, friends of RPG Majors. We rejoin our crooning Columbos after learning about their new comrade's confidential cyclical course. The three of you are in this soft-serve ice cream place, Swirl World, after discovering that Rory has been looping through time. After he shared a bit about his history with you, as you are all having a fun night out with no caveats whatsoever on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, do we feel like a change of scenery is a good idea, or?
Yeah, I'd love just a evening of having fun. Like I said before, you know.
Okay. We can have so much fun because I look at Mara. We can be cool. We can have fun. Say it with me. We can be cool. We can have fun. We do have questions, but we can do both at once.
Exactly.
Yeah, you usually do.
Okay. Smash.
That's so us.
We cut to a bar that has a bunch of novelty pinball machines making noises and lights in the background. We are all standing at the same pinball machine, trying to play and asking questions about what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I think as Aubrey's like locked into the pinball machine, zeroing in on the pinball, and like Mara and Rory are flanking both sides. Mara's kind of like, "Can you tell us how we became friends?"
Yeah, it was actually this mystery here. Me coming to you because I had other stuff to do and, well, also needed to find Eric, so it happened with me trying to offload that onto you guys, to be honest. But it just kind of unraveled from there. Or raveled in? Whatever the best way to describe us becoming friends is.
Is the Eric Buchanan case the quest that you were talking about, or is that something that happened after?
No, that was just I know it sounds rude to say, but at the time, just an extra thorn in my side.
Oh, do you want to do the left paddle?
Yeah, I guess.
And the camera moves down so that it is inside the pinball machine. And as the plunger gets pulled back to launch the ball up, the ball hits the camera.
Cool.
And as the ball sort of moves through the camera, it swings around, and the pinball is a golf ball, as you are all at a putt-putt place that seems to have been designed by artists from Meow Wolf or similar.
Okay.
Nice.
It's kind of circus-themed.
I'm trying to putt a ball through a small big top circus tent that's got all sorts of unearthly noises and lights coming out of it. Sort of haunted-like and ghostly.
Yeah, and I think Mara is down on the ground with her putter lined up against the ball, trying to like really be precise about her shot. But like it's not her turn next, it's Rory's turn. And so she is like just trying to lock in and find the perfect precise angle for her ball to go. And I think she, while staying in that crouched position, is like So, we can't ask about the quest necessarily? Is like quest maybe off limits?
Rory, without looking at where he drops the ball and sets his putter, just sort of counts for, you see him like counting in his head, smacks it, hole in one.
Dang it!
Wait, why did the circus not eat your... Oh, yep, okay.
You can ask about the quest, but can we do that tomorrow? I'd love to, I'd love to have us finish up the whole Eric thing. It's sort of it's a memory to me in a way. And I just don't think I'm ready to talk about the quest yet. And he makes eye contact with you, Mara. You see him go to another place when he locks eyes with you. Mm-hmm. And then he walks over to grab his golf ball sort of quietly.
I think then after that, Mara will just kind of like nod and maybe also hits a hole in one. Took her longer, but she was able to do it.
Do you know if we have a certain amount of time with you before we either forget this or break you out of it? Or like if we wait until morning, are we still going to know who you are?
Oh, yeah. I choose when I loop.
Okay.
Or if I die. So I'll say the last round, before I saw your passing, we were together for 4 years.
Wow.
Okay, want to beat the record?
Yeah, and if this is like a kind of weird, both of us were out by the end? Like we both died, Aubrey and I?
Yeah.
Cool. I think Mara will kind of swing her putter around, and as it hits, it kind of goes flying through the air. There's the PowerPoint vortex transition that happens, and we're suddenly axe throwing. Like all the pieces of the that were the mini golf course now become the bullseye, and an axe comes flying, and we cut back to Mara going, "Whew, this is her rage place."
Rory at the axe throwing place. You notice when he picks up the axe, there is a sense of lethality in his holding the axe. He holds it like someone who's trained, operates any sort of weapon. It's not this fun, like, lighthearted, oh, we're throwing axes. It's like, he's like, this is a weapon. He throws, hits pretty center to bullseye, picks up another, almost a soldier's mentality in handling these throwing axes. And then when he's done throwing, he like goes back to the sad attitude he has, but trying to be jovial and enjoying the moment. But
Aubrey's not necessarily throwing any axes, but she's watching them very carefully, thinking about axes.
Dang, it took me so long to like learn how to even throw it to hit the board. That was insane.
I've spent a lot of loops in axe throwing places across the country. Felt like a good skill to know, especially when you have to do quests. And he seems resigned when he says that.
Are there other places and other friends that you have this kind of relationship with?
The relationship I have with other people I've met, there are a few individuals, Eric being one of them, who I've known for a while and is in a similar boat to me. Not the time loop thing, but when I say is assigned to being a hero, it's, I say hero very loosely. We're individuals who are, as I said, given quests and given a modicum of power to, as long as we follow through on these quests. But quests can be anything. And if you've ever read any of the Greek myths, I'll say this,
Mara coughs.
The gods who give those quests and those myths, they're static. They haven't changed. They're just as selfish as ever, and they want things their way. You guys were the first to help me figure out that maybe that wasn't a good thing.
Good for us. Mara like fist bump.
A little high five.
I like the fist meeting, open hand.
Yeah, we
high five,
absolutely
fist bump.
match it.
Yeah. But that's become the handshake over the years.
For this next transition, you see Rory throw the axe. The axe hits the target, and it cracks the wood
in half.
and then falls into just sitting on top of a cliffside park on a bench late at night, looking over an evening foxglove, all the buildings lit up, street lights. It's kind of cold, but isn't rainy, just casually looking out.
You can see way off in the distance the lighthouse spinning around.
Now that we know what we know, how do we help you? And are there ways that we can help you that you wouldn't have considered before? And dare not speak of, but we wouldn't know unless you told us?
I truly don't know how you could help. You know, Sisyphus, Prometheus, the consequences that powerful entities enact on those who don't listen to them. That is the consequences for not listening. I will say this, I did not listen that time. I decided the quest wasn't worth it. And so I decided to go off to become a supernatural investigator, to travel with you two and have my own little desk in that office of yours. And then amazing things happened, sad things happened, but we were a team, the three of us. But things escalate as times escalate, and that last moment, failing to protect you two, it, as you can tell, it broke me. And I was lucky enough to, instead of suffering the consequences for abandoning my quest, to be visited and told, this is what happens when a hero does not complete their quest. That the consequences of being a hero are the greatest when you don't listen, and if I don't listen again, well, that I'll learn very quickly that Hades is a real place. And so I'm back. After lowering you two into the ground, I'm back because the consequences of not doing this, the consequences that will be on me, the knowledge that I wasn't strong enough to save you two, well, as much as I hate the idea of this quest, it's 1,000,000 times more worth it than the possibility of at any moment in time reliving watching my best friends die.
I think Morrow kind of wrapped the three of them in a hug.
Arms over the shoulders on the park bench.
Be like, I know there are ways that we can't help you and things that we'll not understand for a long time. She kind of smirks at that phrasing. And so I hear you, and it must be very lonely. In those 4 years before things went south, what was your favorite memory that the three of us shared together?
Just to set the scene, all three of us are on a roller coaster.
Nice! Yeah!
But we're not riding it.
Oh.
In so much that we're standing as we're stuck on the track trying to do something. We're not sure yet, but we're all standing, jumping between the cars, holding on for dear life through the loops.
You can see a shadowed figure on the track off in the distance. I think you're trying to catch up with them.
Ride the wave, built in metal here today. We ride the wave.
The roller coaster sign says the wave.
We know today another villain's in our way as we ride the wave. We travel on, we go where we must when we ride ride the wave. The best of us. No one can stand in our way when we ride this wave.
I've always been a fan of the loop-de-loops. I mean that metaphorically and literally too. With my bestest pals by my side, I know this will be one hell of a ride.
Hold on tight.
Ride the wave. Ride the wave. Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Rory to my left. Mara, look right. When we stand together, it's never an insurmountable fight. We know where we're standing. We know that we might be upside down. But when we're going together, we're never backing down. Ride the wave. 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 Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Like the tides that are changing, reroute that course right there. Change the track, get him back. I swear we'll jump ahead, meet him where he doesn't expect it, and grab that burlap sack. Okay.
yeah, I got it.
We'll put him in it, and then we'll like do the loop-de-loop, and like, we'll drop him when we reach the top, and he'll hit the floor.
We save the day.
Save the day.
We save the day. When you ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
You save the day. Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
We save the day. Yeah, so that one was pretty crazy.
Sounds awesome.
That's about as much I can tell you, though.
That sounds really fun.
Dang.
I'd love to catch a guy in a burlap sack while surfing on a roller coaster.
Yeah. Wow. That sounds like us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what else you want to get up to tonight. I feel bad leaving Eric a little bit, but, I think tomorrow we can go help him out. This was really nice, being able to have this moment with you two. And in sort of that, all three of them on the bench, he lays one head on Aubrey's shoulder and then next on Mara's and takes both your hands and gives yours a squeeze, Mara, as he looks out to the city and you can see just a few more tears pass down his face.
The camera gives one last look from behind the three of you out onto the city, the three of you sitting together on a bench, and time sort of fast forwards in the shot, and we can see the sun rising over the city and the bench sitting empty. You'll meet him back up at the office in the morning?
Did we offer him a place to sleep?
You certainly can.
Yeah, I think
I
we did a
would've definitely
sleepover. I think we did an office sleepover.
Yeah, I feel like if we're not in the car or lighthouse sleepover, office sleepover, yeah. There's enough couches in there. We could have made a fort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Pillow fort.
Yeah. Office fort.
I think at some point it was endowed with a Murphy bed.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like still overgrown with the witch alder.
Yeah. All the
yeah.
fancy soaps filling the air as we're doing our morning routines with the fancy soaps.
Yeah, I think this is the first true, rather than moist towelette washing Rory has had since this loop, because he's been so just...
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have office shower?
Probably.
Yeah, office shower.
Office shower.
Office shower.
I feel like this place was intended to be an apartment.
Yeah. We were like, no.
But it's got a weird bathroom that's like a little too industrial to be homey. But it does have a shower.
Tiny stall shower.
And if this were your place of business, you would go in there and you'd be like, huh.
Yeah.
What are you up to in the morning?
I think Mara's kind of writing in a journal, getting whatever feelings out. You know, there's a lot going on internally for her, but maybe kind of looking in to like glove box or whatever, but knowing that Rory probably has a very clear plan on how to help Eric. I think she's just maybe trying to do her homework and take some of the stress off.
I'll go grab us coffee for the group, but you'll need to forgive me because I lack the knowledge to be as good of a friend to you in this moment as you've been to me. What's your order?
Black, 1 pack of sugar.
Right on.
So Quicker Than a Bean of Light is like halfway across town, or all the way across town from...
Yeah, I'm not going all the way to Bean.
What's the diner or coffee shop that's near the office that you go to?
I want to make another bean pun, but we already have one, so I shan't.
The Galaxy Dough
Sure.
Ooh,
instead of Starbucks.
that rocks. That rocks. Yeah.
I think it's primarily a donut place with novelty donuts, but they do have coffee. It's just a really short menu.
Love it. Great.
Galaxy Dough.
All right, Galaxy Dough.
Works in a pinch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll bring stuff back to folks.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, do y'all want this to be like a fun mystery we can solve together? Because it could be, mysteries are delightful. I'll try and keep in my head that you don't know what I know, and then we can make it
Can I roll to see if this would be fun for Rory, for us to not know stuff? Like what does he want in this moment?
Sure.
Yeah.
Whenever we ask him directly, he's going to defer, but
Yeah.
I want to figure it out. Yeah.
Rory, what is your cunning stat?
My cunning is a 2.
All right, so it's going to be a vigilance against 2 purple.
There's no successes, but there's like 5 advantages.
Really?
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. I can't tell.
Yeah,
but,
no, you're right.
What's something else I learned about Rory, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah. What are some things that you would want to pick up on? Aubrey has been in detective mode, so like noticing calluses or like ways that his boots or clothes have worn, just sort of giving you some indication about what his habits are.
Yeah, I think if there's anything about his... I think a lot of his habits are from circumstance rather than preference. But if there's anything I can pick up about like what might delight him or like what he actually likes, like that could be like a fun thing in the future. Like, is there anything that is not purely like a practical survival thing? Like, is the thing on his shirt representing something he likes? Is the carabiner a color that he likes, or was it the cheaper one?
Ooh, that's a great question. You see him getting a lot of delight just being able to hang out with you two. You also... This is a really tough question, actually. Rory is such a sad character in my head. I'm like, the bowling alley made me think of it. Rory likes little practical jokes.
Cool.
Like, you notice him, Mara's writing in the journal, sets her pen down to go, look, and he just takes the pen and puts it in his pocket and walks away. And
Puts a stick in its place.
Yeah.
Or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like really harmless little goofy things, but yeah, that's where he finds his fun and his enjoyment. It's just these small practical jokes.
Okay. In that case, I think we should humor him with
Yeah,
this.
definitely. I think Mara sits back down, picks up the stick, and is like, What? Looks at Aubrey. Are you trying to use this as a pen again?
No, I was gonna come up with something witty to say, but I don't know how that got there.
She like shuts her journal. She's like, those are my thoughts, you know? Like puts it away and it's kind of like looks and kind of like looks to Rory like, do you see where my pen went?
Rory is containing a laugh like a child trying to, hide that they've done something mischievous.
Wow, this bodes well for our big day of mystery solving.
Yeah. Don't make me ask. Nope. She decides not to make a joke. She's like,
I don't know nothing.
We want to do this mystery the fun way?
Yeah, let's do it.
why keep things boring? That's really dull. You could do it the fun way and make sure your fun cup stays full. You could be sitting quietly, maybe in a library, or you could be reading your book in a nook of a really large tree.
Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way. Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way.
When you have the moment, when you can take the time, doing it the fun way, it helps us get our time. When you got a whoopee cushion, a little stick of gum, pulling it out zaps your finger, that is just a piece of the fun.
Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way. Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way.
When you're dishing up a bowl of chili and they ask for it hot, but you know that they meant temperature, but you load it to the top with jalapenos and habaneros and ghost peppers, a Carolina Reaper.
No. Bert.
Too much? Too hard?
I don't know, man. Maybe.
Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way. Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way.
I put saran wrap over the toilet seat.
Oh, my pee's everywhere.
I bet you didn't see that coming.
I did not.
Maybe there's a way that you can trick people into thinking that a coin really hates them, when in reality there's a special way to flip it and it's fun and no one gets upset.
Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way. Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way. Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way. Hey, hey, we're doing it the fun way today.
Well, for old time's sake, and maybe, to get back into friendship mode, why don't we keep this a mystery?
Okay. If we start to be boring, though, you gotta give us weird hints.
Mar scratches her head like, this one's really difficult.
Yeah, no, I like that. I'll give you fun hints.
Okay, cool.
Do you guys have the board yet?
Like a
the tack
conspiracy board?
with the strings?
We haven't really ventured into that.
I have one at my apartment, Mar. I just haven't showed you.
What?
I thought you would think it was off-putting.
No! If anything, it might be able to help me keep track of where your brain's at all times. I said it with nothing but love.
No, I'm taken with nothing but love.
So we see the doors close on the gardening truck as everybody's piled in, and the gang drives over to Aubrey's apartment.
In Left Town.
In Left Town.
In the right side of Left Town. Yeah, it is a third floor walk up. It is a studio that has sort of like one big room with a little kitchen space in the corner. bathroom on the side. It's made from a sort of old, warm wood that a lot of cabinetry in nice houses is made from, but not necessarily whole spaces. It's a little bit overwhelming in that capacity. It is mostly pretty practical, but a little bit too haphazard to be strictly practical or neat. You know, dresser, there's like a rack of coveralls and things. There's sort of a stuff area with tools. In one side of the room, there's a giant, ornate, beautiful mirror that's kind of the standout object. It's clearly the most valuable thing here.
Full-length stand mirror with ornate silver frame.
It is clearly super out of place, and it's leaning against the wall in the center of the room, kind of where a fireplace would be, if there were something like that. Just something that is too big for this space and therefore must be the center of it. On the wall, a little ways away, so that the mirror can't see it, is a bulletin board with a lot of pins and string. Most of it Freddy focused right now.
Since Mara picked up that Rory probably took her pen, and that's maybe something that he likes to do, she grabbed a handful of paper clips and let Rory sit shotgun and sat in the back seat and put all of them on his collar, like just like a full perimeter of paper clips. And is really good at hiding the fact that she thinks that's hilarious. Like she can hide a laugh, so she's just like, you know, walking on in, waiting for him to notice.
Yeah, I don't think Rory notices now.
Good.
So here's the space. You both know it. You both love it. Yeah, I had some notes that I started taking for Eric Buchanan, but I haven't put them up yet because we haven't been here, hadn't been home. But Aubrey pulls a bunch of like Post-it note scraps out of her pocket and starts pinning them to a corner of the tack board.
Anybody have a paper clip?
Oh, yeah, that would be very useful.
Rory, looks like you have a few.
Oh!
Is that a chaos magic thing?
How many did you get?
What do you mean?
Is it like for protection?
Oh,
No,
yeah, we had
this
somebody
was-
else really like that, too. That's an interesting choice.
Starts pulling them up. That's a good one. That's,
Fully gaslighting. Do we need to update you on Freddy at all, Rory?
No.
Okay, cool.
No. He just...
Does he have any redeeming qualities that we don't know about that is going to make this complicated for us?
Nope.
Cool.
Cool.
No.
We do another one of the hand fists.
It looks like a Thanksgiving turkey kind of thing.
Yeah, genuinely.
So what are things that Aubrey has Post-it notes of on this case so far?
So a lot of it has to do with the dust, the qualities of the dust, the locations of the dust, and all the details about who was there. The idea that there's some stuff that, remind me, do we think that Eric took all the stuff with him, or was the stuff taken after him?
After
him.
Yeah.
So that maybe he ended up staying somewhere. He wasn't expecting to be gone, but he's being looked after perhaps in some capacity, or is there for longer than was expected if they were grabbing like a change of clothes for the guy. A lot of it has to do with footsteps and a lot of like weird esoteric, like, light step, but not air, not flying, sort of dancing, sort of maybe a glide, maybe a jeté, like maybe this is not super tall. Do we know anyone like this?
As you're describing it, Rory's just sitting there nodding his head like, yep, good clues, good clues.
Are you lying that these are good clues, or are these actually good clues?
No, I think we got a good start.
Okay. I'm gonna put a tack in this, and I put dust, and then there's a string tied to it and another tack, and I just start moving my hand around to try to pin it to something, to connect it to something, and I just watch Rory to see if he like his face gives anything away. About whether he like looks disappointed, or if I like put it near something and then I move it away, is he like, oh?
I think Mara also like goes, like stares at him and gets kind of close, like any minuscule expression.
Rory's like facial expression is changing, like he's cringing as he goes around there, and then like slow nods and is like moving his head almost directionally, like people who are trying to play video games who don't
like
really
the
play
pinball last night. What is something that it seems like he wants us to move it towards?
Footsteps and the floor connected with the dust.
I start to move the Post-it note for reclaimed wood towards floor.
His eyes get big. He just
And when Aubrey puts it there, Mara goes, aha! As if we had gotten no hints. Just figured it out. We knew it!
If we think the shipment's gonna come in soon, do we intercept it? Is that fun?
Whoa.
So you do recall that that his coworker Ricky thought that Eric expected the shipment to arrive, what at this point would have been like 3 or 4 days ago.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So maybe we track the shipment, figure out if it got intercepted, figure out if it arrived somewhere else, figure out
where it
is.
Go there even.
Go there.
I like the use of the word where. I think where is a good.
Yeah, that would be my next question.
Okay,
It's hard to go somewhere if you don't know the where.
I agree completely.
I can see why we work so well together.
Yeah. Okay. The where.
Guys, I'm having a blast.
I think when like Rory smiles, like Mara's shoulders drop a little bit. Like she's just glad to see him genuinely happy. And I think like kind of juts him on the arm like playfully. But I'm wondering too, and maybe there's not a good time to roll for this at this moment, but I think Mara's like picked up a few times where like he's done something extra with her, or like an extra look or an extra sad thing or an extra squeeze. So I'm wondering if there's a way she can like interact and roll and try to get a sense of if that's off base or if that's
like, is he trying to tell her something, or is there a certain connection there?
Yeah, like is there something that's gonna happen to Aubrey that she like she obviously not get the answer to that, but like pick up maybe a bit of a motive of what, if that exists and why.
Yeah, I'd take a vigilance against 2.
Okay.
I think.
So I'm rolling.
You're rolling, yeah, so this is going to be against Rory's cunning score, and you're going to roll vigilance.
Okay.
You get 2 blue dice from me.
Oh, great.
Even though I don't know what's going on.
I have a yellow and 2 green.
Assuming the dice rolling stance.
Yeah, this is very impactful.
Feet wide,
Yep.
planted, powerful, in command.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, I think.
Wow, that's very good.
Yeah.
2, 6,
Wow. You can fix him, Mara.
4 successes, and
And no...
that's it.
That's it, just
Yeah.
4 successes.
What do I know? What do I learn?
I would say that his squeezes tend to come at a time when family comes up.
Oh no. Okay.
So that's the pattern that you are able to pull together.
Okay.
So that he's giving you a bit of extra care around Mara's family.
Okay, good to know. Thanks. Great.
Okay. We found no proof that the wood was delivered, right? Like we didn't find a spot where there had been wood and then there was indentation in the ground.
Correct.
Or scraps.
There was no evidence that it had been delivered.
Yeah, it did not make its way to the site and then get taken. It did not arrive.
Correct.
Okay. Was it supposed to go through the machine shop, the metal shop, or do we not know?
So Ricky specifically said that he would have had it delivered to his home because it makes no sense for it to have been delivered there.
Yeah.
That said, you didn't find any order records of basically anything at the house or in the trailer. So knowing that he runs the machine shop, if you were to look for order records.
Yeah. Why don't we go there, and if it doesn't succeed, then we can go ask people at the docks.
I
That's
love
sort of
the
a
docks.
classic detective thing, right?
Let's do it. I love it.
I think as we hop back in the truck, Mars like tries to, is there music we could, I'm asking a question that's going to date me a bit in an opposite way. What's the method of playing music in the car, in the truck?
Cassette tape.
Cassette tape. Okay, so I think like Mara hands the collection that maybe Aubrey has to Rory and be like, what's your favorite? Like pick one out.
He pulls out a cassette from Goose Springer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What sort of music does Goose Springer make?
the same kind that Bruce Springsteen makes.
Love it.
Big Americana rock.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is there a song, a favorite song that Rory has?
I can roll on the table if you want.
Oh yeah, we got a table.
We got the table.
yes.
Yeah.
I'd love a little table.
One sec, I wasn't prepared to GM today. Do you have a D100?
Yes.
What if we do this and it's the worst title ever?
Then that happens.
Springer song.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's name is Goose, right?
You want to roll, Oliver?
Yeah.
This is your favorite song.
My favorite Goose Springer
Your favorite
song.
Goose Springer song.
80.
It's called The Labyrinth.
Wow.
Labyrinth.
So Greek.
Take the bull by the horns, ride it where it may. When you're riding every day,
Every day.
the road is twisting. When you're on the road, don't know which direction to go. I'm riding my bull. I'm riding my bull. I'm riding my bull. Down the road as the paths keep going on, as we twist around and around, as we know just what we know, as we go on and on, as we ride out on the bull, as I'm riding on the bull, as I'm riding on the bull. And the path keeps carrying on, and I worry when it gets tough, I won't be able to keep going, but I know I've got the right stuff, though things may get real hard. I got love in my heart, my sweet, she's on the way, on this labyrinthian maze. I keep riding on the bull, as I'm riding on the bull, as I'm riding on the bull. Riding on the bull, I'm riding on the bull, to find my love. I know she's stuck in the maze of the world, as I'm riding on my bull, as I'm riding on my bull, as I'm riding on my bull.
I'm gonna give it a good
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
The song cuts off as you arrive at this metal shop. It is up in the industrial district, so it's 20-25 minute drive away from Aubrey's apartment, mostly through winding side streets, as there's no good way to go from east to west in this town. There's no good highways except running north-south. Hello, Seattle.
I am a mountaineer.
As you arrive at this place, you see a 2-story brick building that has big double garage doors on the front, which are wide open. You can see drill presses. You can see some welding flashes coming from inside, and that fills up the lower half of this building. Up along the left side of the building, as you face it from the street, there is a wooden staircase that was clearly added on after the building was built, which indicates, like so many buildings in this city, it was divided after its creation and some housing was built on top. As you're arriving at this shop, which I would love a good name for a metal shop.
Steel crazy for losers.
Steel crazy after all these years. Okay, done.
That's great.
No, you're just too good at naming things. Steel crazy after all these years.
And underneath there's an established sign with the year that it was founded.
Yeah. About 15 years ago is when it was established.
Okay. I think that's enough years that you can start putting an established sign on.
Yeah. As your truck pulls up, there is a young man who's walking down the wooden stairs on the side of this building. And Camilla, I would love for you to describe this person, as this is Aubrey's stepbrother, Henry.
Oh my gosh. What's he doing here? Yeah. I guess as their step-siblings, Aubrey and Henry don't look that much alike. I think that he has the sort of frustrating appearance of someone who is a really good athlete, but that's also like the fifth most interesting thing about them. And so there's nothing show-offish about it, but just a very well put together, neatly but casually dressed. He's about 4 years younger than Aubrey, 3.5. So he looks like he's, like a college senior or starting a grad program. Yeah, has a sort of like trendy kind of but nondescript haircut. And I think has a sort of immediate and obvious friendliness about him that is not necessarily outgoing, but makes it easy to see him and be like, oh yeah, we could be friends.
This young man is essentially bounding down these stairs looking like he might be running just a little bit late for his internship at the zoo, as he is wearing tan work pants, a green vest that says Foxglove Zoo embroidered on it. His chestnut brown hair has a nice clean fade up the side of it into a fairly short side part up on top. And as he hits the bottom of the stairs and looks up, he notices that Aubrey is there and just stops dead in his tracks as she's closing the door to her gardening truck.
I try to close the door really casually without looking at it, but kind of slam it on the tail of my shirt. And then like casually like sort of turn and give a wave while I'm trying to pull my shirt out of the car door without having to open it again.
What are you doing here? There's a reason I didn't answer your letter. Mom and Greg told me that you had sent one, and they read it out to me over the phone. I didn't give you my address.
If this is where you live, I swear I didn't know. I'm here for business.
Rory looks over and you see him mouth sorry as he takes a step back.
If you don't want to talk, then I don't want to make you, but I didn't come here trying to catch you in anything. I would love to talk sometime if that's okay with you, though.
You right out of the blue, after not showing up for anything for the family. Greg's had a hard couple of years.
Yeah, well, they were harder when I was there. You remember that? You remember how bad that was?
His health isn't great, and you're not there to help.
Would me being there make him happy? Do you really think so?
He's your dad. Of course you being there would help make him happy, even if it's complicated.
I mean, just because he was my dad first doesn't mean I was his kid first, So, would it be how serious, or what's going on with him?
The doctors aren't really sure, but he's having trouble walking. I don't know. Maybe it's the doctors aren't sure.
Has he said, do you think he'd want to see me, or has he said he'd want to see me?
Yeah, our family's real big on talking. He hasn't said it, but it's pretty obvious. Just like it was pretty obvious he wanted something, right?
Yeah.
Hey, at least we were honest with each other. And he's gonna open up his arms for a hug, and there's no friendliness on his face whatsoever.
I accept the hug.
Can I use a kind of silent communication thing with Rory? I think I kind of want to ask, did you not know? Is this another surprise?
Sometimes it's important to have hard conversations with family.
I think Mara will kind of give him a look and then look at her feet.
I'll come by if I really didn't think it would do anything, but if it would mean something to him or to Joyce or to you, I'll be there.
We still have family dinners most Fridays.
Okay.
He just kind of looks awkward and trails off.
if I go, I can't promise I'm gonna say all the right things, but it is gonna be in good faith. So, if you can try to take it that way, that would be great. And the zoo, there's a lot of weird stuff happening at the zoo, so you need to stay safe.
Aubrey, maybe we should go into the...
No, I just mean, I know that your internship is cool and important, and I did want to talk to you about it, but I think that maybe, if there's another firm or something, you should think about that.
Where else would I learn the things that I'm learning at the zoo? I get to take part in designing habitats. Do you know another firm that does that? Because I'm not smart enough for Bracco.
Well,
I think you are.
I think Mara will shoot her a look like that is something that could be arranged.
It's just, if they ask you to work on a habitat and you're not sure what it's for, please talk to me.
Why would they ask me to work on a habitat that I need to know what animal it's for, obviously?
Yeah, fair. Just if you're good at reading people, you're good at reading situations, you have a way with people and things that I never had, and so I trust you to have really good judgment. And if something gets in your way of that, if something strikes you as off or weird, just trust yourself, okay?
Come to dinner. Greg misses you. Mom does too. She likes you more than you think.
She's always pretty cool. All right, Friday?
And if you want to talk about whatever it is you wanted, we can do that too. Just show up, okay?
Yeah, if it comes up organically, but that's low on the list.
I'm running late.
Okay.
He steps inside the metal shop, and just inside the door, he sort of unlocks a bike and hops onto it and starts pedaling away hard, south and towards downtown.
I think Mara will kind of come up and put her arm around Aubrey.
That went so much better than I expected.
That's good.
Oh my gosh.
That's good.
Not all of it's good, but
it's a start, right? Seems like he doesn't know.
Family is hard. Sorry about this, or that, or, yeah.
Do you know what's going on with my dad?
It's for you to have the moment with, because I could tell you what's wrong with a lot of people, what's good with a lot of people, but I think it's important. And he is looking at Mara while he says this. It's important for you to realize that grief with family, it's for you to feel, and that everything, as long as you bring it with the best intentions, well, there's always a hope that somebody will forgive you.
In the strictest medical sense, is there something that I can point the doctors towards that might be real good in the long run?
One of the rules is I need to be real careful about preventing tragedies that I know are going to happen.
So you're telling me that me not knowing this wouldn't be preventing a tragedy?
I'm saying this can go either way. I just can't step in.
Shoot, man. I think Aubrey just sort of puts her head in her hands and takes a little walk in a little loop in front of the store.
I think, and then Mara at that point kind of goes, I don't know how to be there for her in all of this. I guess a fact check, but I haven't really experienced grief before, so I guess if you could help me find the right things to say if something does happen to him. I understand that my relationship with my family is a different kind of weird than hers, or maybe not.
Yeah, how are things with your mom right now?
How long have you been wanting to ask me that?
A while.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say, I haven't wanted to ask you.
Mara kind of gets feel like a rock in her chest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of that feeling where you've made a home in the spider web. surface with what I can see and what she is planning all along, and I wonder, is she lonely? Does she need me? Do I want to be just like her? Or am I worse? What's it all for?
The web is something I thought I'd escaped. I'd flown the coop, had my debts all erased. And then the thread comes and keeps pulling me in. Do I know where to even begin? Is what they want from me something I can provide? Is what I'm capable of giving them something before the moment's died? Will I just end up caught? Tried so hard to get away. Was there some reason that I should stay that maybe I forgot?
Made my bed.
My bed is far from there,
In the west.
so far by my own choice.
Made the bed.
I made my bed of my own accord.
In this way.
Why do I feel the pull of their voice?
Where I rest my head.
Don't rest easy knowing what I know.
What comes next?
What comes next?
Cheerful.
Jeez. I think if that's a
Yeah.
feelings moment, and to answer Rory's question,
Yeah.
I think Mara kind of shifts a bit and she's like, I have this feeling that I probably only am scratching the surface, and that's where she wants me to be. And I think it's hard to know that there's probably a very clear version of myself that she sees me as, and the distance between that and what she expects me to be, I don't know how to close that gap or if I even want to.
Have you come to terms with the grief that sometimes we can never close those gaps?
Because we're unable to, or because we miss our window?
Because maybe that's not the distance we want to jump. That the expectations of others, it's just that. It's others. And, well, it hurts. But maybe you're not a jumper. Maybe you're happy where you are and with what you're doing.
I think, and she takes a bit of a gulp, sometimes it's been easy to live on the kind of binary of monster human. And I think I'm trying to reconcile this aunt that I never knew, and that she might be on one side of that fence. And I think it's a little painful to try and pinpoint where my mother is, because I don't know if it's an answer that I like, and that if it's inevitable for the things that I see that are scaring me about her, whether I can even... And I think she trails off because she gets red in the face and is doesn't want to admit that she's had these thoughts.
It's okay to grieve someone you love, but maybe don't like.
Thank you. And I think Mara will kind of give him a hug. But as she's pulling away,
He is stiff as a board. And what you noticed at axe throwing, his body language feels the same in this exact moment.
Then I think what she'll do is like take a piece of his hair and put it to the side. It's tomorrow. Are you going to tell us what you're here to do?
First, I'm going to say sorry. Second, I won't ask for forgiveness. I hope eventually it can come.
Aubrey's been sort of leaning against the brick wall of the building and has wandered over as this is happening, but missed the very beginning.
Mara, I have to slay your mom.
I know.
And, that breaks my heart. But it has to happen.
And I think, for the first time in her life, Mara is speechless.
And so, Rory's quest laid bare, how can our heroes proceed together? Find out next time on RPG Major. Rory was played by special guest Oliver Bay. Follow him on Instagram at Olivarius. Mara Vertere was played by Lauren Drake. Follow her on socials at La Drake. Aubrey Stump was played by Camilla Franklin. Find her on Instagram at Camillastrator. Camilla also does all the art and visual design for RPG Major. All the music for this arc of RPG Major was created live in the room by glorious guitarist Noah Samuels. Follow him on Instagram at Samuels_Noah. And I'm Helix. You can connect with me and the cast of our show on our Discord or on Instagram and Blue Sky at RPG Major. And if you believe that artists should be paid for their work and it's not going to break your budget to throw a couple bucks our way, you can support us on patreon.com/RPG Major. But of course, as always, the number one you can support us is by telling your friends about us. All right, viewers, we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that coming, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, it felt
But yeah. Oh, jeez. Okay. No.
You saw it coming?
You did. Yeah.
Am I that obvious?
No, it was either
I didn't
her or
know.
Fee.
Yeah.
I figured that out. I was like, and with Siren Mafia spoken, I'm like, and I think, you want this one on the mic? Yeah. I had figured it out. Yeah. I was
I
like,
did.
if he doesn't have to kill one of us,
Yeah.
it's my mom or Fee.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that the talk around family and grief, I'm like, well, she doesn't know that. And I think the way that, I think at first she was like, I was interpreting it as like, and also asking about Jay and everything. She was like, oh, we're like, we together at one point, and is that where this is coming from? But then the thing about family, I was like, oh no, this is an extra guilt and an extra fear. And all of that made sense of like, is she gonna be okay if this person leaves her, like leaves the earth or whatever? And I think what in that moment, like what's crazy is like Mara was thinking less about like the person that, well, obviously because she can't go there, right? Like those emotions of like, you know, grief about her mother. I think the dread was what she's going to inherit if that does have to happen. Because, and in the back of her mind, you know, there's got to be a way around this. Like, I don't know, maybe not. But yeah, scary, crazy. But I realized that, so it didn't hit as hard, so I was able to like play the emotion, because I think if I didn't know as player and character, I would be wrecked. So I'm glad I was like, oh. And I was like, that's episode about the sirens and grief, I was like, oh, he's gonna kill someone in Mara's life. I know he is.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Yeah. Great work, y'all. That was cool. Oh, so scary. Slay your mom. She already slays. Like,
Slays all the time.
she already slays. Whoa. Too much.
I do think the Ghost Peppers and Carolina Reapers are too far. That's
funny. If someone has a condition, Bert.
they're about to.
It's crazy.
Now I'm also sort of wondering if you all try and do this to me, of like move the string over here and look at my face and see what my face is doing.
No, never.
Never. We've never done that.
And I'm an excellent poker player. I never give anything away with my face or body or emotions.
Viewers, he's looking to the side suspiciously.
I think you try and go blank. I knew
do
I was
all the time.
on something.
I do it all the time.
With this, you were like, and I was like, oh, there's something there. Got it. Anyway.
One sec, I wasn't prepared to GM today.
Meanwhile, Helix over here has been taking a lot of pages from the Lazy DM's book today.
Oh,
Who's a real like how to GM better writer. Who encourages very minimal prep and how to make that good. You're going with the sharp-edged precision dice
Yeah.
that were sold to me by a cantankerous old man at Gen Con,
High contrast.
who also sold me the weirdest dice that I own, which is
The stone one?
those are not the weirdest ones. I think those are just a fancy material. He sold me a 24-sided dice that he calls the D total because it is every dice in one.
Oh.
it has a D2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know if there's a 9, but there's probably a 9. Definitely 10, 12, 20, and 24 on it. So it's every dice that you need, all in one. He encouraged me to kill many PCs with it because the players would have no idea how to read it.
Is that where we're headed today?
Yep.
Big ups to Groundhog Day the musical, though.
yeah.
A musical with a really mediocre first half and a banger second act.
Yeah.
One of those beautiful closing numbers, I think. And then the guy, the insurance salesman guy from Ned Ryderson, he has the most gorgeous, heartbreaking song in Act 2.
Oh, yeah.
In this musical. It's so beautiful and like gutting after he's been comic relief the whole show. Anyway, big ups for Groundhog Day the musical.
We rejoin our detectives at Swirl World, the soft serve ice cream place where they've discovered their erstwhile companion Rory is Groundhog Day-ing.
I am having so much fun.
Wow.
It is so fun to be a character where any GM choices that can happen, I can just say, yeah, I'm the reason this is going on.
We do have to confuse her when she's back.
Welcome back, viewers, to the Wild Wild West.
Sad this time. This is the episode where
we
we're
left off, our
emotionally kinda out of line.
Our little dog ears
Will
were
we
just
do
coming out of the
something out
mines.
of pocket? Will we do something reckless and cruel? Will we look cool doing it? Yeah, you know we look cool, but we'll make.
Now, Baron Von Kitty Cat sits atop the roof of his manor, enacting his evil plan.
Well, now, I'm going to sit here and say meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
I'm going to see all the puppy dogs below running around.
Meow, meow, meow.
I'm going to make them do their tricks. I'm going to make them sit up and beg.
Meow, meow, meow.
And soon we will complete the very last peg of my evil plan. All the dogs will bring me fish. They will overflow my kitty cat dish. Soon over them I will rule because cats are cool and dogs just drool. Oh, you think you're doing fine? Nothing's as beautiful as this Persian feline.
fetch me some trout. I do not care if you don't like the feeling of water upon your snout. Now go in there and fetch me some red snapper. I don't want to hear it, not your yippers or your yappers. It's the time for the cats.
When I look into the mirror, I see a tiger.
Androlide Weber wishes.
The viewers are like, these are so hydrated. Like, how many times are they gonna?
So hydrated?
So hydrated because we're bathroom break time.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, you got to drink a lot if you want to sing a lot.
True. I've always said that.
And you don't want to know how much difference a wet mouth and a dry mouth and how much
Right.
gets picked up.
Throat coat, sponsor us,
Sorry.
please.
We love you, throat coat.
Throat coat, we
We
love
love you, throat coat.
Especially this
Oh,
slippery-
yes, we do. We
love
don't
you,
love
throat
anyone
coat.
as much as you.
This
When you're not
slippery
with us, we're moving. Oh, throat coat, we love you.
This is going to be a fun time to edit.
You can make magic with that, right?
The editing.
Yeah. Magic the Gathering, more like Magic the Editing.
Sound off. Do you want an uncut episode?
Please, we don't want that.
I think they do.
The recording timer is at 3 hours and 52 minutes.
Oh, yeah, viewers.
That's nothing.
We usually, honestly, keep about 50 minutes of every hour that gets recorded after we start the story.
Not too bad.
That's
No,
impressive.
it's very good.
Yeah,
it's very
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
I think today there might be about 2 hours in this, or maybe maybe 2:15 to 2:30 in this 3:50.
Okay.
But granted, a full half hour of that is just warm-ups and
Warm-ups.
stuff.
Oh, true.
So-
Yeah.
So maybe it's actually pretty normal. Okay.
Right.
Well,
Hero song?
Beautiful song. A beautiful song.